FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Welcome, and you are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz, and it's time, finally, for another Triple Lutz report. This is show number 485. Well, this is my annual Thanksgiving Day message, a message of thanks to all of you out there for being with us, for staying with us all these years. There's thousands of you out there who, amazingly to me, never, ever miss a show. And you remember more of what I say than I do, which is really pretty amazing. It's been 10 years now. So there's a quote I'd like to share with you from Cicero. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. And I'm sharing my gratitude to you out there because you have really made a difference in my life. Look, we're going through extremely tough times, and they're probably going to get worse. At least there's as much chance that they're going to get worse as they're going to get better. And the political situation makes absolutely no difference. Politics aside, we have a date with destiny in this country and in this world. And what I've learned this year, going through the so-called pandemic, and yes, COVID-19 is real, but our reaction to it is completely unreal. What the world has gone through, I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to share opinions about it. It is what it is. We've had to go through it for whatever reason. And myself, yes, there was some unhappiness associated with it initially when it first started, but I found it to really be a blessing. And I've learned so much about myself and about life during this whole, it's been going on 8 months now, hard to believe, almost 9 months. And lockdowns and business disruptions, supply chain disruptions, economic dislocations throughout the globe. We're on the brink of major change throughout the world. And it's going to be geopolitical. It's going to be economic. It's going to be consumptive patterns. Everything is going to happen here. The political situation, it's just a backdrop. Just like Picasso didn't just do his artwork on a white surface, he painted it. And whatever the backdrop was, he superimposed his work on the backdrop. Maybe Picasso is not the best example, but every artist uses a backdrop. And politics is just the backdrop in which our civilization and our history unfolds. Well, having to look more within myself, not having these external distractions and external time absorbers, if you will, it really made a difference. It made me understand so much more about myself, my goals, what I was looking for in life. I've upped my meditation practice, and I've started a new thing. I suggest you go over to YouTube, Google Wim Hof, W-I-M, William Indigo Mary, Hof, H-O-F. And this is a Dutch guy who shows you breathing techniques. I've always used breathing with meditation, been effective, but this has put my meditation on steroids, and it has totally made me turn a corner. What I'm learning how to do, and I think it's the key to happiness in life, not that I found it, but it's certainly a very important key, is to detach yourself from external goings on. That doesn't mean you ignore what's happening. You don't go live on a street corner drinking booze all day and just escaping from reality, but rather you detach in a way. You're detaching your personal happiness and satisfaction from who wins the election, or if the market goes down, or if the market goes up. Yes, you have legitimate concerns. They're going to interfere with your feeling of tranquility and peace. But with age, sometimes comes wisdom. Obviously, you have to have an open mind and you have to be seeking wisdom in order for it to find you. But I found that these breathing techniques, and briefly summarize it, 3 rounds of this exercise, you breathe in 30 to 40 times deep breaths, and then exhale, hold your breath for anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute and a half. And then you do this over 2 more times, and you could do it a 3rd time. You could take 40 breaths. You could take 25. It's not really going to matter. You're kind of hyperventilating. But what it does is, as he says, it resets your mind. And he's probably the most studied person on the planet. He has had many, many brain scans. What it does is opens up your brain, expands the amount of brain activity that you have, and probably puts out a bunch of hormones, everything else. It actually alkalizes your body, which anyone, especially in holistic medicine, will tell you that when your body's alkaline, very hard to get cancer, very hard to get sick, viruses, bacterial infections. When you're alkalized, your body is in better shape. But taking baking soda or other things, drinking alkalized water, it has to go through your stomach, and it doesn't always prove effective. The breathing pattern definitely proves effective. That's just one thing. But clarity-wise, clears your head. Now, he's also in favor of taking cold showers, but you have to build up to it. I've done that in the past. I'm not going to do it now. But what I am going to do is try the nitrogen cryotherapy, where you go in this basically tub and they give you nitrogen for a few minutes and it's really cold, but anti-inflammatory, all of these things. And this guy's in amazing, amazing health. Well, combine that with meditation, where you've achieved this state and then you get into meditation, it does amazing things. So if I can make any suggestion to you out there for anything, it's start meditating and try the Wim Hof method. You will be really happy that you did. I'm about to join his club. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's just about the best investment you could make. In my opinion, I'm not getting any money. I've never talked to the guy, never encountered him. I would like to get him on my show, however. It's just made such a difference. I've been doing it for a month now. This has been one of the happiest months of my life. Also, hey, business has been great this year. While the rest of the economy is falling down the tubes, my sector, precious metals, and particularly mining companies, who are the bulk of our sponsors on the show, they've just been crushing it.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next.
Arcana Corporation is on the verge of bringing the world's highest grade silver mine into production. The Revenue Virginius mine in Colorado has proven improbable silver reserves grading nearly 37 ounces per ton silver, with an all-in sustaining production cost of only US $8 per ounce of silver. The mine is fully permitted with infrastructure already in place, and the company has announced they plan to commence production in 2020. Achieving successful production usually results in a significant upward share price re-rating on the Lessen curve. Arcana trades under the ticker AUN in Toronto and AUNFF in New York. To learn more, go to arcana.com. That's AURCANA.com.
The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
I knew this day was coming. I started acquiring bullion back in 08 and 09. I was buying mining stocks. I made a good amount of money. Then 11 hit. Managed to get out with most of my profits in the stocks. But this year has just been off the chain. I think we're going to see more of it. I can't tell you what the price of gold is going to be at the end of the year. I do think that next year we're going to see record prices. According to Eric Haddock, we could see them in May, and it'll be an intermediate peak. Point is that we know what's happening with fiat currencies. There's no question. The dollar is probably going to see its day at some point in the near future. They won't get rid of the dollar until they have a substitute. I don't know what that substitute's going to be. Maybe every country will have its own crypto. But at some point, they've got to exchange goods and services. So there's got to be some kind of currency and means of doing that. That's what they're working on now. That's what the Great Reset's about. That's why you need to be ready for it. But You can never really prepare for the inevitable. Think of a time when you've had a relative or a loved one, a close person who's been ill, and you know that they're going to pass. It's just a matter of time, probably sooner rather than later, and you attempt to mentally prepare yourself for the inevitable. This is just human nature. We all try to do it. And then the actual event occurs, and you are devastated because you can never prepare for the inevitable. And you can make preparations for them, but you can't prepare. Psychologically, you can't. Just like we have hurricanes in Florida, and you evacuate, you abandon, you go someplace safe, you hope, and wait for the storm to blow over. You can do preparation, but you can't really be mentally prepared for it until it happens. When it becomes the ordinary, that's when you're mentally prepared. You know, the first loved one that dies, first close person that dies, it's really tough. It never gets easy to deal with, but it becomes more commonplace. It's just like the first time I got a speeding ticket. The cop pulls up behind me. I remember well, I was in New Jersey, going about 85, 90 miles an hour. Trooper pulls up behind me with the lights, and I'm shaking like a leaf. I'm nervous. I am so jumpy and almost jumping out of my skin. I was just speeding, and I was a normal person then. I think I was about 21, and I go through it, get my ticket. Okay, it's not that terrible. Well, subsequent to that time, in the past 45 years, I've probably gotten 25 or 30 speeding tickets. I am a habitual speeder. Now, if a cop pulls me over, I'm totally in control, calm, no panic, nothing. And I try to talk them out of the ticket if I can. And if I can't, then I can't. I take the ticket and deal with it. Well, that's kind of what it's like preparing for the inevitable. When the inevitable happens enough, you're prepared for it psychologically, not fully, but enough that you can deal with it. So I'm just telling you, prepare now. It always pays to have a plan. Even though, as Mike Tyson says, the plan is great until you get hit in the head and then you're kind of toast. Well, let us see what happens with what's going on now. I want to hear from you all. Send me your emails. Let me know what you're doing for Thanksgiving. Let me know what your plans are for the rest of the year, when you think the pandemic's going to end. What are you going to do with your life? Just go over to the site, sign up for the newsletter, financialsurvivalnetwork.com. I love you all. Thank you for being there. Gratitude, my gratitude knows no ends, no bounds for what you have done for me. If I've helped you at all, just let me know. Drop me a line, kl@kerrylutz.com. That's it for now. It's been another Triple Lutz Report. Kerry Lutz signing off. We'll talk to you after Thanksgiving.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.